Commander Zethkar stared at the holographic display with all four of his eyes, the bioluminescent patches along his neck flickering in disbelief. The data couldn't be correct. It simply couldn't. "Run the scan again," he ordered, his voice carrying the authority of someone who had commanded starships across 17 different galactic sectors. "Sir, I've run it 12 times already," his navigation officer, Lieutenant Irim, replied nervously. "The readings are consistent. There are structures down there." The bridge of the Celestial Wanderer fell silent except for the gentle hum of life support systems. Through the viewport, Kepler 442b hung before them like a malevolent eye, a world that every civilized species in the galaxy had marked as a death trap. The planet's statistics read like a horror story: surface gravity nearly twice that of most habitable worlds, atmospheric pressure that could crush the respiratory systems of a dozen known species, temperature swings that ranged from flesh-freezing cold to metal-melting heat, electromagnetic storms that could fry electronics from orbit, and perhaps most terrifying of all, an active geology that regularly reshaped continents with volcanic eruptions and seismic activity that registered off most standard scales. Yet there they were, geometric patterns that could only be cities, transmission signals that suggested advanced technology, and heat signatures that indicated millions of life forms moving about their daily business as if this hell world was merely another garden planet. "Sir," the communications officer spoke up hesitantly, "we're receiving a transmission. It's in 17 different languages, including our own." "On speakers," Zethkar commanded. A warm, distinctly organic voice filled the bridge. "Greetings, travelers. This is Earth Traffic Control. Welcome to Sol System. Please identify yourselves and state your business in our space. If you require assistance, aid stations are available at coordinates we're transmitting now. We hope your journey has been safe." The crew exchanged glances. Earth? They had never heard of such a world in any galactic database. "Earth Traffic Control," Zethkar responded carefully. "This is Commander Zethkar of the galactic exploration vessel Celestial Wanderer. We were not expecting to find intelligent life on this world. Our records indicate that this planet should be uninhabitable." A pause, then what could only be described as laughter. "Ah, you must be from one of the Outer Rim surveys." "Yeah, we get that a lot. The planet's a bit rough around the edges, but it's home. Would you like to send down a delegation? We'd be happy to host you, though you might want to bring environmental suits. Most species find our atmosphere a bit intense." 3 hours later, Zethkar found himself standing in what the humans called a park in the heart of something called New Geneva. Even through his environmental suit's multiple filtration systems, he could sense the barely contained violence of this world. The very air seemed to crackle with energy, and the ground beneath his feet trembled with barely perceptible tremors. His human guide, a female who introduced herself as Dr. Elena Vasquez, noticed his nervous scanning of the sky. "Don't worry about the lightning," she said cheerfully, pointing to the massive storm system rolling in from the west. "The city's shielded. We'll only lose power for a few minutes when it hits." "Only lose power?" Zethkar's translator struggled with the casual tone. "Oh yes, the backup generators kick in automatically. We've got geothermal, solar, wind, and fusion plants scattered around. One storm can't take them all out." She paused. "Well, not usually." As they walked, Zethkar observed the impossible. Children, actual younglings, played in open areas while seismic monitors displayed constant low-level earthquake activity. Adults conducted business in structures that flexed and swayed with the planet's movements rather than fighting them. Gardens bloomed with vegetation that seemed to thrive in the chaotic electromagnetic environment. "How?" he finally asked. "Our scientists ran projections. This world should kill any known form of complex life within days." Dr. Vasquez smiled. "Well, it did kill quite a lot of us in the early days. The first few thousand years were pretty rough. But humans, we're adaptable. When the world throws earthquakes at us, we build buildings that dance with them. When it gives us storms, we harness the lightning. When it tries to poison us with volcanic gases, we develop technology to clean the air and use the heat for energy." She gestured to a massive structure in the distance, a tower that stretched impossibly high into the stormy atmosphere. "That's an atmospheric processor. It takes the toxic gases that would kill most species and converts them into breathable air while generating enough power to run half the city." "The deadly radiation you're measuring? We use it to sterilize medical, Equipment and power are deep space communication arrays. They passed a construction site where workers in minimal protective gear operated heavy machinery while molten rock from a recent fissure eruption was being channeled into cooling systems. The magma makes excellent building material once you know how to work with it, Dr. Vasquez explained. And the rare earth elements we mine from, active volcanic sites have made Earth one of the wealthiest trading worlds in the local systems. As evening approached and 3 of Kepler 442b's moons rose in the turbulent sky, painting the storm clouds in shades of amber and gold, Zethkar began to understand. This wasn't a world that humans had conquered, it was a world that had forged them. Your species, he said slowly, you didn't just survive here, you became something that could thrive here. Exactly, Dr. Vasquez's smile widened. Every challenge this world threw at us we turned into an advantage. The high gravity made us strong. The electromagnetic storms taught us to build robust technology. The seismic activity showed us how to construct flexible, resilient structures. The atmospheric pressure expanded our lung capacity. Even the radiation gave us genetic diversity. She looked up at the chaotic sky with genuine affection. Other species look at Earth and see a death trap. We look at it and see the forge that made us who we are. It's not just our world, it's our partner. Later, as the celestial wanderer prepared to depart, Zethkar filed his report. He tried to capture what he had witnessed, a species that hadn't just survived on an impossible world, but had been shaped by it into something equally impossible. Humans who saw disaster as opportunity, who treated catastrophe as a daily inconvenience, and who had transformed the galaxy's most feared death world into a thriving center of commerce and culture. His final log entry was simple. Recommendation: reclassify Kepler 442b from uninhabitable death world to human homeworld. Also recommend adding humans to the list of species suitable for extreme environment colonization and disaster relief operations. They appear to consider our impossible missions to be what they call Tuesday. As their ship jumped to hyperspace, Earth's impossible storms painted the darkness behind them, and Zethkar wondered what other supposedly uninhabitable worlds might be hiding civilizations that had simply learned to call hell home.